Cowabunga nerds. This is Jackie, your nerdy crafter. Am I a Ninja Turtle fan? Maybe a little. Maybe just because I have, I don't know, 80s lunchboxes, the whole collection of cards, the sewer layer, the turtle wagon, all 4 original turtles, just a little. And they're all the original 80s toys. When I showed off my larger sculpture, I also showed off a Chibi turtle. And many of you guys requested a tutorial on that. So, this week's tutorial, you guys will learn how to make a Chibi Michelangelo. And if turtles are your thing, you're definitely going to like this week's collaboration. This week's collaboration is Let's Clay with Eva. Her tutorial is on an absolutely adorable turtle. Not a mutant one, just a really amazingly cartoony, adorable one. I don't have enough adjectives for this. After watching this tutorial, make sure that you check out her tutorial as well. Here's what you'll need for this project. Green, brown, yellow, white, dark green, your favorite turtle's bandana color, rounded and pointy tools, a cutter, a wire. If you don't have a wire, you can use your eye pins, a rounded or popsicle stick, and a wire cutter. First thing you're going to do is make a round ball with your green clay. Once you have your green rounded ball, take your popsicle stick and do 1 dent on each side. Those are the eye sockets. And then take your finger and push the top of the head so that we have a slight curve between the 2 eyes. So this is what your head should look like from the front. And this is what it should look like from the side. For the body, you're going to take another piece of green clay, shape it into a teardrop shape, and make sure that it's twice the length of the head. Once we have this piece, cut straight down the middle, halfway through. So here are the 2 legs. Now to define the 2 legs, you're going to take each piece and make it into a round area. So you're going to keep taking this part, squeezing and molding until it's rounded. Now you're going to take your wire and cut out 2 pieces, and you're going to cut it the length from the end of the leg to the top. Now you're going to insert each wire into each leg, like so. Now we know it's going to stay in place. Now for the feet, you're going to take 2 equal-sized pieces of green clay and make them into a kind of elongated rectangle and place it around the base of each leg. Once it's there, you're going to smooth the top part in and then make the bottom part come out kind of like toes. Once the pieces are smoothed out, you're going to push the leg down like this so that it's standing up and create little toes by pushing at the bottom tip of each feet, like so. This is what the bottom's going to look like. Now you're going to shape the feet so that it kind of looks like a teardrop. Now do it with the other side. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start kind of elongating the legs so that the top part is really tiny and the lower part is larger. So keep pinching the top and rotating until you have what looks like a Ninja Turtle leg, small and then bigger. So I highly suggest when you're sculpting the legs to make it stand up so that it doesn't tip over once you have it on your stand. So this is what it should look like once you make the bottom part a little thicker than the top. Now for the body, we really want him to be skinny, so this is way too chubby because we're going to be putting the front of the shell and the back part. So that's going to bulk him quite a bit. So we want to make sure that this part is way thinner. So remove a good bit of the top and start making it into a torso. So it still kind of looks like a teardrop shape. You just want to make it much slimmer. Look at his cute little turtle butt. Voila. Now in order to attach the head, we're going to take our wire, make sure that it's long enough to go at least halfway into the head and halfway into the body. So you're going to cut that length, put it into the head, and then place the head onto the body. Now what you're going to do is take your rounded or pointy tool, push this part here up so that he has a bit of a neck. Once you have the wire covered, tap around this area here so that you create a shoulder. So I went ahead and got my Lazy Susan so that you guys can see him from every side. And this is what the neck and shoulders should look like as well. Now take your brown, flatten it out pretty thin. This thickness should do. Now you're going to cut out 2 strips from this piece, and then you're going to place it on each side of your turtle. While we're making the details, take your popsicle stick and make a dent inside each of the feet. Now take your yellow clay, flatten it out. This thickness should do. Once you have this piece, you're going to cut out a kind of shield shape from it, like so. Now smoothen out the edges and then put them on the turtle. Now in order for this piece to look good, it has to go from the bottom of the neck all the way down to cover part of the legs. Now pat it down so that it sticks to the other pieces. For the shell, take your dark green clay, make an oval out of it, and then you're going to flatten down the sides only. You want to keep the bulge in the middle, so you're just going to tap all the way around without touching the center. Now take it and place it behind your turtle. Voila! Now before we make the hands, we're going to have to choose which turtle you want to make. Since I'm making Michelangelo, I'm going to make nunchucks. Now since I'm making nunchucks, I'll need 2 eye pins, brown clay, and a couple of links of chains. And you're going to bake them like this. Don't worry about the chains, we're going to put it after it bakes. Take your brown clay, make a small oval out of it, flatten it down, and create this shape right here. This is going to be the knee guards, like so. Now you're going to take your pointy tool and just push down on top twice so that you can make little dents so they look like knee guards. Now make a thin snake with your brown clay, flatten it, put it around one of the knee guards, wrap it around the legs, and then cut off the excess. Now do the other leg. Ta-da! Now for the belt, make another long snake with your brown clay, flatten it out really thin, cut out a thin strip, and wrap it around your turtle. I suggest that you have the ends finish on the side because it will be covered by one of the hands. Before we close it off, make sure that you do the lines in the middle. Now for each hand, you're going to make a chubby snake, and then you're going to push the top and separate it in half, like so. Now take your pointy tool and separate one of the halves into 2. Now keep molding them so that they look like fingers. There you go. How easy was that? Now make a second one. Now you're going to take each arm, put a small piece of wire at the top, and place it on each side of the body. Take your fingers or your popsicle stick and smooth them in so that they look like they belong to the body. Like this. Now this is the time you're going to take your weapon, place the hand in whatever position you want, and then close the fingers around that weapon. Look how cute this little nunchuck is. Now take your brown clay again, and you're going to make 2 more elbow guards, and then wrist wraparounds for each hand. Now do the other arm. Make 2 little white balls, and put them into the eye sockets. Before we put him in to bake, we have to give him his little smile. For that, take your cutter, and just make a little smile. Now bake according to package instructions. If you're not sure, this piece should take about 20 minutes at 275 degrees. Here he is all baked. Now for the bandana, take your bandana color and flatten it out really thin. Once you have this piece, you're going to cut out a fat rectangle out of it. Now what you're going to do is place the bandana all the way around, take your cutter, push the eyeballs so you know where they are, and you're going to create a dent in between. Now you're going to take your cutter and cut around the eyes. There you go. Now what you're going to do is smooth out the back, make a little ball with your orange clay, put it in the back, and then make 2 strands sticking out from behind. Now if you want to make a stand for Michelangelo, you can either use a wooden board that you can find anywhere at a craft store or even a dollar store, or you can take a bunch of your scrap clay, blend it so that it's not fully blended, and then you're going to place him on it. I'm going to take my scrap clay. Oh jeez. Here's a partially dead minion. This looks really terrible. So here it is, not fully blended. Now take your Michelangelo, put him on the stand, and push down only at the feet. You don't want to push anywhere else because you're going to break some pieces. So just push straight down. Ta-da! Now bake this for about 10 more minutes. Once it's baked, take some black paint and just draw in the eyes. All done! When your friends see this, they're totally going to be shell-shocked. Now remember to check out my friend Eva's tutorial, and if you have suggestions for future geeky tutorials, leave them in the comments section below. Until then, don't forget to check out my giveaway. I will see you guys next week.